Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Day 27 Healing. My name is Destiny. For my new subscribers, I hope you guys have had a great morning thus far, and I hope you continue to have a good day. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about karma. Funny thing is, I actually had another video idea that I was going to do, and I completely forgot it. And I think the universe did that on purpose because I specifically needed to share with you guys about karma. So, as you know, a lot of people hear karma and some people think, bad luck, or some people think good karma, or some people think both. And now, I don't want to put it in the form of luck. I think it's just in the form of abundance and lessons. Like you had a karma for your lessons and you had a karma for your abundance. And what I mean by that is that the karma for your lessons are basically things you've done in your past existences or your past lives, and they're coming into this life. It's like whatever was within you in your past lives, your inner thoughts, feelings, your actions, you create that for your next existence. If you think about it, that's why if you see a lot of people saying things like, make sure you keep your mind positive, you do the right thing, be aware of your thoughts, control your thoughts. It's true, because that is still energy you're putting out there, because everything is energy. So think about it. You constantly think about, I'm gonna say, for example, think about having sex all the time. You're always thinking about how you want to do it. Eventually, that energy is going to manifest into what you want, or you're going to have that sort of feeling as such, if that makes sense. But we'll touch on that in a little bit. And more so, like the karma for abundance is more so, let's just say in your past life, you did a lot of good things, like, just say, for example, charity work. You was always kind, you was always giving, you was always helpful. And, now in this life, you're reaping the benefits of you being a giving person. Like you give, and now you're receiving that good energy back. And another thing, just because karma can come in different ways doesn't mean that just because the lesson karma, I'm just, separating the two so you understand, doesn't mean it's gonna always be something that's bad or damaging to your life. That's not the case. Now, sometimes we all don't know what we've done in our past lives, because some of us aren't aware of past lives. Some of us never, we were taught that this is the only life we have. I definitely don't agree with that, because on many occasions I have moments to where things hit me and spirit tells me past life, because I'm very, connected and all of that. That's my thing. But yeah, but one thing I want to encourage everybody to do is get a past life reading. Now, in that aspect, I'm gonna get back on karma in a minute. I'm gonna tell you why it's helpful. Get you a past life reading with someone, and I'll tell you someone that I know that can do really good past lives with two people. First is Jasmine Holland on Facebook, but her name is Black Lotus Psychic Medium, and she's really, really, really good with past lives. That's my sister too, Sis. And also a lady named Camilla. I think her name, oh my God, I forgot her name of her business. I think is Angelic Creations. Dang it, I can't remember, but if you guys go to my page, Day 27 Healing on Facebook, remember to like, share, but I'll try to tag them both on the page, so that way you guys, you can see. I've done past life readings within my readings before, but I'm not there to where I can really, like, go all the way. But it's like it kind of comes to me rather, than I'm looking out for it. I think as time comes, I'll get better in that. But I'd rather you guys go to somebody that's much more experienced in that, than to do it with somebody that know bits and pieces. But it's important to get that because you can learn about who you were, and it can give you an ideal. And ask whoever's reading you, what energy are you picking up on? Like, you might see that, hey, I fought in the Civil War in the past life, but was I fighting for you know was I like a slave, or was I like a Confederate soldier? Like, either or, like, what was my energy like? What was I like as a person? Like, was I doing the right things, or was I doing the wrong things? Because sometimes you can get a past life reading and they'll just tell you, oh, you was this in this life, you was this, and you appeared to be this way. No, get as much information as you can, because it can start to help you understand why you do a lot of the things that you do now in this life, and help you move forward. For me, I've always been the person that's not gonna take too much shit from nobody, and I'm not gonna let nobody have control over me, like, to where it's like it's dictating my life. Now, I will say this: I have had situations where I was emotionally, like, feel like people had control over my emotions. But once I learned my emotions and I changed it, I'm giving you guys examples. But still, even and then, I still didn't let nobody feel like they had one up on me. But I had to learn how to shift it. It was like it was in the lesson phase for a little bit. Then it transitioned over to the abundance phase. So where now, I'm like, okay, these are my emotions. I'm responsible for them. I have no control over what somebody might try to do, what somebody might try to do to me, but I know who I am, and I'm secure in it, and they can't control me unless I allow it. Make sense? But it's very important. And because one thing, I used to be in the military a few years ago, and when I got my past life reading, I was told that I fought in the Civil War, and I was really hurt and depressed. And I was like, okay, I had, in that life, I had to be a slave, because a lot of slaves were fighting in that war for, freedom and all of that. Just a lot of different things. So I can tell how depressing that must have been. And it's funny, in this life, I ended up getting in the army, and I didn't stay in very long. And I guess that was like a part of my lesson of like, hey, you kind of like back here again is something you did once before, but it wasn't for you. I did it back then. It may have been for me then, because maybe I didn't have a choice because I was a slave. But in this life, it kind of hit me, like, the reality of it, like, this is not for you. And once I, became more conscious and aware, through my awakening process, there's a lot of things that go on in the world that appear one way, but they're really not. So there's, but when I got out of the military, I didn't know that, but something just pushed me to get out. I was like, hey, this ain't for you. Keep moving. And now I understand why that makes sense, because there's a lot of falsehood that goes on with things in society. But I'm not going to get into all of that, because that's not my speed. That's for somebody else. But back to the whole, karma thing. One lesson that I've truly learned from karma is that when you do something to somebody, you're going to either get the lesson or you're going to get the abundance. And for me, in that aspect, it's like, okay, just let's say you do somebody wrong, like you betray your best friend. Your best friend said, hey, I got a secret to tell you. I need you not to tell anyone this, not even your mom, your dad, nobody. I don't care if they can hold a secret, still don't tell them, because I don't feel comfortable with everybody knowing this, because it's something very personal and sacred to me. And just to say, you say, okay, you take it in, and then before you know it, you don't told somebody, now it's out everywhere. And it gets back to your best friend. Of course, your best friend upset, might not even want to be your friend no more, or maybe not choose to tell you things, personal things anymore. And just to say, that friend is feeling sad, low, a little depressed from that, because it was real personal. Now they may have anxiety about going out and seeing people because you told their business, because it was something very personal that was supposed to be between you two. And just to say, maybe like a few months later, A year later, you know, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, something happens to you to where you feel like you've been betrayed. Just to say, somebody hacks your phone and sees all your information and spreads it out on social media, and you're like, damn, like, why would they do that to me? This is my personal stuff. Why would they put it out there? And if it instantly hits you to where you think about what you did to your best friend, that's basically like your karma, like the universe giving it back to you, letting you know, like, hey, this is your lesson right here. This is your lesson to learn not to do this to anybody, and for you to see how it feel. Because maybe at the time when you did it, you didn't really think nothing of it. You didn't think it was that big a deal, because maybe whatever they told you didn't seem like something like, why would you want to keep this to yourself? But everyone is different. Everyone processes things different. That's why it's careful. That's why you need to be careful and mindful of the way you do things. Hence the reason of your karma that is a lesson, and your karma that's abundance. Make sense? And I have an article that I'm gonna put in the description box. In the description box that you guys can read to give you an idea about it. And just to say you read that article and you feel like that's not enough, you know, just go Google it, go to YouTube. I always tell people, follow your intuition, and I am going to do a video about that. I think that's the video. No, actually, well, I'm going to do a video about that, but the video I wanted to do was about how to, you know, basically trust yourself. But we'll get into that video. I may do it this week, or I may wait till next week. But yeah, that's why it's important to be aware of what you're doing. Now, sometimes you're gonna get thoughts and you're gonna be like, okay, where is this coming from? You have to remember, we're all in different levels of vibrations. And so whatever level of vibration you in, whatever, like, just to say you're around other people in that same vibration and y'all all are thinking, you know, certain stuff, you might get some weird thoughts and you be like, okay, this isn't, like, I know I wouldn't think of no shit like this. It's because it's a wave or energy. Think about it. You know, we're all souls and we're all vibrating in different levels. So we're all connected. So it's not shocking that you might catch a thought that's not yours. You know, I've heard the saying that all thoughts are not our thoughts. And I believe that, because we know, you know, when you know yourself, you kind of know the kind of stuff you tend to think about. Sometimes you might go off the handle a little bit and go a little far beyond what you would normally think. But, you know, that's just our imagination, or some people say our subconscious, and all of that working, however you want to put it. But it's very important to be aware of yourself and know yourself, because once you know yourself, you know, it's easier for you to do the right things and do what you need to do and be more self-loving. That's one big thing to help people that's, you know, creating karma. You know, we all are creating that. It's important to be, you know, self-loving. Love yourself, know yourself, and understand yourself, because when you do, you know, you limit the amount of lessons that you'll have to learn, because when you know yourself, you're doing the right thing, pretty much. Now, are we perfect? Honestly, I'm gonna say no, but you can work to be better. I'll put it that way. Work to be better and be more mindful, but you're still not perfect. But what else was I about to say? I forgot my whole train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. But see. It was self-love, and one more thing I wanted to touch on. I can't, y'all, I can't remember. It sucks because I'm, you know, trying to get so much out, but most importantly, it came right back, but I couldn't catch it. Dang it. Don't that sucks when you really trying to get something out there and you forget your whole train of thought? So maybe this is my way of the lesson from the universe saying, like, hey, start writing notes. I'm going to have to start doing it, because I know sometimes, you know, my videos, they're not very short. So with that being said, I'm going to have to start making little notes before I start to, you know, look at them and make sure I touched on everything. Because the way I do it is kind of like whatever comes to me, that's what I'm going to talk about, pretty much. So that way you'll know. Something on this I wanted to touch about had to do with spirits, but we already at 15 minutes, so, and I still gotta edit and make sure y'all get the content, but it's okay. If it comes to me, I'll just put it in another video and I'll be like, hey guys, remember when we was talking about karma? But that's pretty much it. On another thing, you may have moments to where you might have deja vu about where you're at in your life, and it's kind of like a reminder too of like what why you're here and what you're doing. So, and now as I think about it more, in my understanding of karma, whatever you see, like, yes, whatever you see around you is what you created, and you have some sort of control over what you see. In some ways you do, in some ways you don't. So if you're in a point in your life you feel stuck, don't say that you're stuck. Just say that this is my presence right now. This is where I'm supposed to be. Even if you don't like it, you have to learn to be able to accept where you are right now, because that's the part of your karmic process. So like for me, I know I've used to have the thoughts like, oh my goodness, when is it going to finally happen for me? When I'm going to have more money? When things going to change? And once I actually start seeing the change, it wasn't about the money anymore. I started learning that it's more so within me that's important, and that's the change. And I feel good because it's like, I'd rather be in a better state of mind before I even come into any kind of money. Because if I went into the amount of money that I'm opening myself up to receive from the universe, I wouldn't do right with it, or me not setting boundaries and being too giving would allow me to be back in a place I don't want to be in and feel 10 times as worse. So, my higher self, God and angels have all been working with me to get me to where I am now, which I'm grateful for. And I understand that, I had to go through these things, and somewhere in my past experiences and past lives, I've created this so that way where I'm here now, I can take care of that and get that done. Now, I don't know who or what I might be in my next life. I may even just stay in the spiritual realm this time, because the way stuff going on with this world is something made me want to be like, can I go to the 4th, 5th dimension, please? Like 4th, 5th dimension me, please. But yeah, but we are, everybody that knows what I'm talking about in that aspect knows, like, in this realm of reality, it's chaotic, it's crazy, and then we're in the number 3. So 3 is like surroundings, being aware and, pushing things out of you. That's why a lot of people are going through so much right now, because that vibration we're in is pushing us to elevate and do better. And if we're not working towards that, basically, karma again, you're gonna keep going, repeating the cycle until you get it right. Trust me, I know, because I repeated the cycle in a lot of things in my lifetime. I decided to make that cognitive notion to change it. So yeah, that's it, guys. Like, I'm seriously done this time. But yeah, y'all have a good day. Remember the website is gonna be in the description box, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.